Hey, this is DJ G right here. Let me put my light on. Shine a bit of light on the situation. That's better. So, Thommy is there. Let me just So how's everybody doing? I'm looking forward to speaking to my special guest, Thommy Davis. Ah, here he is. Okay. We've got you, Mr. Davis. We've got you. We've got you. We've got you. Have we got Mr. Davis? Hey! Mr. Davis!
Yes.
How you doing, my brother?
Figure out how to get on Instagram.
It's an education. It's an education.
It was. I could smart man, but I had to call some people and say, how come I'm not doing this right?
Hey, and you've learned. You've learned. Please. There we go. There we go. Thought I lost you for a moment,
Okay.
but it's so good to have you. Really, really good to have you.
Thank you for
I
asking.
mean, you are a living legend. When I said to people that I was going to be speaking to you, they said, "The Thommy Davis, the Thommy Davis." I'm going to speak, and the people are excited to know that I'm speaking to you, and you are just, you're even a fashion icon. Do you know that?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Appropriate. I guess this gonna have to do. Quantize.
Oh yeah, you got to quantize it. Quantize it. So, let's take you back to when Thommy was a young boy playing football in the street, having fun. What was music in your life? Where did it actually start?
It started about 5. I had
5 years old.
I had like a close and play, but
Yeah.
just the kind of little children plastic little turn, and it came with little children records, and I liked to take the records and take the needle and make certain parts play over and over and over again.
So, was there a lot of music in your house when you grew up with your parents and the rest of your family?
Yes, they listened to a lot of jazz, a lot of soft jazz, a lot of Caribbean too. Like they just would play the same records all the time. The radio was on often a lot.
Yeah.
Records I'm talking about was like "Here Comes Hippity Hop No Horse," "Here Comes Hippity." I was just go "Rip, happy rip," "Here Comes Hippity Hop, rip," "Here Comes," and I got so good that I could needle up and drop it. And I went to breaking cassette decks, just
Oh,
punching, trying to do things, making parts longer. This was long before there was such thing called a DJ. A DJ back then meant something radio. It didn't mean what it is today.
yeah, yeah. So, can you remember the first record you bought?
Yeah, I think I can. I think it was Ecstasy, Barry White.
Right. That is good. Have you still got it? Have you still got that track?
I got all my 45s. They don't play right because I played them until they were white. Um, but
Mrs. DJ Spen, she said, "What year was that?"
let's see. Let's see about 65.
She said 1972.
My school lunch money. The record store, it was in their little store. They had a mom and pop record store. And the record was only $1.30 or something. And I got tired of my parents had 5, so I learned I could go buy my own, which turned me on to early Funkadelic and, of course, Gladys Knight and some dramatics and the moments and stuff that you would hear. That
Yeah.
were the first records.
Now, growing up, what area of the US did you grow up at in?
And Baltimore.
Baltimore. So what was was any? Did you come up against any racism as growing up as a young black man in Baltimore? How bad was it?
Well, I didn't actually experience it until in my 11th grade. I was in Baltimore City, and my parents moved into the suburbs. So I had to transfer to a suburb school,
Yeah.
like 80% white. So it was a culture shock. Of
Yeah.
course, I didn't do well at that school. I came from, I didn't. I mean, I came from an urban city school. It was English, math. So, but I went to a school where I was taking improvisational studies of Russian literature. Uh,
Russian literature.
yeah.
Wow. You got skills.
I still remember some of it, but all their classes, I think the problem is that I had medium high scores. So they just comparatively put me in medium high in the other schools, where they're me
Yeah.
a long way from what the other one. So I'm reading Tolstoy and all this kind of stuff, trying to catch up. And I didn't do well. I didn't do
Now, how did music feature in your school days? Was it still a very strong influence, or did it creep up on you?
No, it's always been with me. Um, and we have friends and we would just sit around and sing songs. So songs were familiar. The songs we knew were familiar, and just playing games with the songs, changing the lyrics, and doing things like that. I knew from 5 that I had this thing with music. I was a sickly child, so I didn't play football. I didn't play basketball. So all I did is sit in the house with my little 45s, play, 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 and play. So,
No, that's really so. Because of that, in growing through your teenage years, and now, what was your first job in music, or what was your first job after you left school?
well, after I left school, my first job was at Burger King. It's a fast food restaurant.
Yeah, we got over here.
And I went to McDonald's from there, and a girlfriend jumped over a counter to strangle me, and I got fired. And I went, and I was going to Morgan, and I shopped in a local record store here, just a mom and pop record store, and they had everything. And I was buying so much music that the owner offered me a job. And when he offered
Wow.
me a job, I was there for like 20 years. First trying to do Morgan at the same time and nightlife. I love to dance, and I was in the nightlife.
Yeah.
So it took about. I went from salesman to a new category in Baltimore called DJ salesman.
Ah.
He,
So were you bitten by the DJ bug then?
oh yes, as soon as they came out with one, so I'm kind of an older guy, so they didn't have a DJ mixer at first. was no such thing. Only DJ
Yeah.
radio announcers had them, to make the seamless go from one record to the other.
Yeah.
When they finally came out with one at a Radio Shack, I bought it, put Christmas lights in my room, and imitated the guy I used to go to the clubs to watch, Davis. So I could practice doing those things, doing those seamless mixes over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's, I remember my first job I got for it, and it was for $6, a whole $6.
$6. Wow. You were a rich man. You had money.
I never thought someone would ever pay me for it. I just was bringing my records because some friends had heard my little collection now. That's kind of expanding with the likes of Donna Summers, Boris Midney, some funk, a lot of funk slave, a lot of brass construction, a lot of stuff that people that listen to the radio never heard. So
Yeah.
I show up at cookhouse and family reunions stuff with my little stack of records. About this many, and they say, "Play your records." I was like, "I'd love to." Just that, old days you can stack them up on a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or stack them up, and mine were 12 inches. 12 inches came out right after Rappers Delight. So,
Ah.
and then family members started making sure I was invited to all of them. And then I was the music guy for the family. I'm gonna bring his music. And one day, a friend offered me to come to their birthday party. They said, "Bring your records." And at the end, they said, "Oh, we got something for you. $6." I was so happy. I had
It's a wonderful feeling. You feel on top of the world. You think, thinking, I'm getting paid for something that I enjoy. It's a crazy thing.
And I was buying a lot of imports, and imports back then were $11, $12. So I was in love with imports, and the record stores I worked in had a distributor that had imports. So I was really in love with Italian imports and UK imports because you guys would get stuff way before the American labels picked them up.
What sort of American? What sort of UK stuff did you get?
One of my favorites, the first one I got was it was a hit, a real hit, real hit was The Art of Noise.
Oh yes, yes, I remember that. Yes, 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 yes.
Oh, that record, it was strange. I fell in love with it. I almost got fired from my job because I said, I can't, I have to take this record. And he said, I'll sell it to the customer and you can come get it the next time it comes in. And I said, no, this record don't go with me. I back in.
Oh, oh.
So after that, he got me another turntable in the store. So for the first time, people could come into a mall and go into a record store and see a DJ mix. So I could sell records by selling. Next, this store is packed full of people. I could
Yeah,
just playing the records as it should be.
that's amazing. So yeah, Mrs. DJ Spence, she said you're a naughty boy.
Why am I a naughty boy?
That's what she said. See, I didn't say it. I wouldn't say that, but she said that.
Well, no, I wasn't. I was a record nerd, man. So you talking about a quiet, shy guy in the mall.
So
I skills from the owner who knew he had a brain similar like mine. He could remember a tune. So what I was doing is hanging in the club, and I would come back into work the next day, and I'd look for these songs. I would look, "Your Love So Special," and I'd find it. People will come in, and they would say, "I know you, Tom. I know you know this record." And they'll sing it. Burn, 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 burn. Oh, I said, "Stop. It's Sable, Love So Special." Like, how do you do that? I said, I don't know. It's a curse.
But you've got that kind of mind, or basically your mind is just like a computer, so you remember certain tunes, and it comes back to you in a matter of seconds. And it's one of these things. It's just like you're completely unique in what you do.
It's the weirdest thing in the world. I can hear a tune. I can name a tune in 3 notes. They can just go wham that wham wham and oh, that's Stone Fox Chase. And it was sooner or later I had a 3-state area coming to say, I don't know the name of the song. All I know is it kept saying same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. I said, okay, Talking Heads. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Like
So how good a salesman were you at selling records?
good, well enough that there were 4, and then there was 1, and
Oh,
in another store outbidded him to give me complete buyers, make me be able to buy the selections. So I left and went to another store where I was the buyer, and that's where me and House became. Because then I was with Barney's and Byron Stingley. He was working at Barney's in Chicago, Watts in New York, and so some of these people became closest friends. Judy, all of them became closest friends because Baltimore was selling incredible amounts of this new phenomenon called house. So I knew Larry at Trax, so I could get Marshall Jefferson and those records and put them in there really sell them really hard in Baltimore. So
yeah,
house, huge record. On and On Tracks, Jesse Saunders, huge record in Baltimore. JM Silk, Music is the Answer, huge. So this record was, you can't see it, about as much space as you can see in this camera angle.
yeah.
Eventually, it was all boxes of records because in a weekend we could sell 1,000 records. Just was
Wow.
so crowded, and they just would sell out so fast. So then I became a Billboard reporter. That means more and more stuff. So, and I'm still DJing in the record store. But
You
thing
you were busy.
it was a new thing for Baltimoreans. So they were young, I mean, they were 15, 16, and I was already out in nightclubs, and I'm like 25. So I just would show them the art of DJing. And they all went out and got mixers, and they all bought the records. It changed Baltimore. Baltimore now is a house city because of that. But, added in bonus beats, Tommy Musto beats and job rhythm tracks and acapellas and things that made it creative to be.
Yeah.
So I don't
So
be the father.
so when did the move to? When did you start Basement Boys? When did that kick off?
Uh, long story, short story. I'm gonna use a short story. Little young, about 16, he's in school. I got a huge after school thing, and he could DJ really doing the rap thing really well.
Yeah.
Became friends in his crew, and they heard this new sound called house come up. So one day they went home and did their own version of what they were hearing, and it was a record called Get the Hoe, and that was DJ Spin at 16, and they did the record, and I told them if they went and perfected it, I would press it, and they went back home, perfected it as far as they could. I pressed it on vinyl, and this thing went worldwide as one of the first house records. So, oh, it's by them niggas, not niggers, niggas. Right after that, we formed, not with Spin, me, Teddy, and Jay formed Basement Boys, and we was doing stuff just to be able to do it, and that went from everything. That went from Alternate to Crystal Waters, 33rd, Third Queen, those guys, you know, Warner Brother contracts, MCA, Well, Mercury, New Groove, uh,
Yeah.
kept going as fast as we could turn it. The world was saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. And we was really close with Tony Humphries, who would just play almost everything we would give him on a reel of reels in the Zanzibar. So we felt really nice.
I mean, that's just history. I mean, it's because a lot of DJs, friends of mine, have grown up. You mentioned Basement Boy. Oh yes, and it's just like this amazing group of people who created this movement and created such a love for house. You just couldn't resist it.
I couldn't. I couldn't. And we spanned it out and tried to do other things. So we did more techno things that was nice, more like those guys, Tanai, that was on MCA, and that were really Junior Vasquez and them in New York. And we still doing Chicago stuff, records like sampling other records, and what they call jacking. We was jacking. I ain't think about it till just now. We was jacking.
Yeah.
Popular and ultra. And then one day we went to a seminar in DC and met Crystal Waters. And then that record, the whole album, but the song blew up. We didn't expect it. It blew up in one Miami seminar. We went down there and the promos that came out, and everywhere we went, we heard that record. And that was the first. We went, we heard that song. You know,
Yeah.
like, damn, we're hearing it again. So now we feel like, you know, now we're fitting in. Now we're fitting in with Frankie Knuckles and Farley and Boy Jarvis and Jovan and so many more. You know, we fit in. We're starting to fit in. No longer are we basement boys. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
first that you little basement. Now we're basement boys. Like
You show them. You tell them.
that. We had no idea. We wasn't never trying to sell it. We was just doing it because all of us were DJs. So we just wanted to play it and wanted Tony to play it.
Yeah.
So that just kept going, and then we just kept showing up at seminars, asking questions, and then one day we get a call to some help with some other friends and say, "I want you to meet Thommy Mottola." I said, "Go and CBS and meet Thommy Mottola." We sitting in his office with Michael Jackson, Gold Records behind us. It's like, oh, now we're starting to feel. Gold Records on both sides.
Was that mind blowing? Did you just did it literally like you're here and it's ready to blow your mind?
Like, okay, how are we going to do that? How are we going to be matched? You know, Gold Records from rock groups, and Michael Jackson, and you know, we walking down a hall with like, we'll turn this corner. You know, we could run right into Rick James. And so,
I mean, you ready to Rick James? That's just...
it was just, we were very humble. So there was no explanation for it. We just loved what we were doing and just kept doing it. So when Crystal just blew up, and then they started doing a satire on one of those shows, Living Colors. That's just
Yeah.
Roger, you know. And then we just kept going. So it was a long story, and I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
Man, you want to talk to with all the specifics, and I mean, if you got time, is Teddy Douglas. He has a mind like a track.
I'm gonna have to talk to Teddy Douglas. I'm gonna find him and nail him down and talk to Teddy Douglas because I want more information. Because what you're saying right now is history, which the world, not the world, the whole of the world doesn't know. And this needs to be documented. This needs to be put together so the younger producers, the younger DJs can know where this is coming from. Because a lot of them would just get up, I want to be a DJ, but why do you want to be a DJ? You know, what's the history of it? And right here is a complete history lesson for not only myself, but other DJs around the world. And this needs to be documented. I mean, we need to see a book, a film, a movie, whichever. You know, I mean, who would play you in a movie?
I don't know. Some old guy.
Oh, you're not that old.
You know what? In a movie, I don't know. It would have to be to play me all the way through all of that.
Yeah,
I have no idea. But
Denzel Washington.
he's not little. You got to remember, I had some of the things that make me me is a little Napoleon complex. So, 8, and I'm very artsy. My wife, when I met through the record store, was very artsy. So it became trendy in club life to be artsy. You know, because you either belong or you don't.
Yeah. I mean, I see your artsy side on the album cover. I looked at it and thinking, wow, let me pull it up here. With the big feather boa and looking so cool, looking so majestic. I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's got royalty. He's got must have royalty in his blood, and it says Mr. Davis. It's a lot of really official. I'm Mr. Davis, royal.
You know, there's a funny story behind the Mr. Davis. It is not supposed. It wasn't intended to be that. But friends, after DJing for 40 years, friends know me as Thommy. But after a while, they stopped saying Thommy. They started saying Mr. Davis, like in honor. So they keep calling me Mr. Davis. So I said, that's a great for the album, Mr. Davis. Now,
Now, so Nate has just messaged and he said the person to play you in the movie is Don Cheadle.
yeah, he could do it.
Don Cheadle. So if Don Cheadle's playing you, who's going to play Spen?
Oh, who will play Spin? Uh, uh, Busta Rhymes?
Oh.
All jokes aside, no. All right, look. Fire guy. Who you have to play like that? Somebody that comes off is well grounded, really, really, really well grounded. I know somebody put something in there. Oh, Mrs. Spencer, no.
Yeah. She said no. Oh, you've got yourself in trouble now.
Oh no,
You are in serious trouble.
no. You could get Mars Chestnut.
Oh yeah. That's a good move. A good move. Yeah.
Is that okay, Mrs. Spencer?
You have to okay. She's the boss, so you have to okay with her. Because I spoke to her and Spen, and she gave me the lowdown. She gave me the lowdown on Spen, and she is the boss. So I'm scared of her, so I have to salute her.
We all are scared, very scared.
Yeah.
She's a powerful woman, powerful. You know what I mean? Not mean, but very, very upfront. So she don't have time for games.
Yeah. I realize that. I really, realize that she's a powerhouse, and she's the boss lady.
Yes, everything. You know, in the beginning, she watched me and Spin try to multitask, do everything. You know, in the beginning when we first started, we was only doing 2 records a month, and the label started having success. So there's 2 guys doing the records, the distribution, the design, the royalty collection, this, you know, this thing is for any producer out there. You want to run your own thing. It is hard because you have to account for everything. You have to play fair for every artist. You have to make sure that if you sold this, how many you sold last year, this month, last year, last that, and that goes on forever. Every time you pick up a song, it doesn't disappear. So you have, so every time you add one, you still got to do the one before it. You still got to say, well, this one sold, even if it sold 0. So about time we got up to 4 songs a week. She said, "Oh no, you guys. I mean, you're doing good, but y'all not doing this right." And she came in. She's very corporate. She said, "Okay, this is how we have to do this." So we're in good hands.
Yes, you are. Yeah,
We have
yeah. I
Kenzie too. She's the women is kind of like, you know, we DJs. We like, and we know the people in the music. We like this. Everybody's our friend. Everything our friend. But when it comes to contracts and the business, some people in the business don't understand all that. And it might be,
yeah.
oh, and it might be this. And because we're friends, I don't want to do this and I want to do that. The women come in and say, look,
She just said hot mess.
women come in and they kind of direct, like, look, here
Yeah.
how it's going to go. We kumbaya.
So what's the next thing for you? What is there anything that you haven't achieved yet that you'd like to?
I haven't. Well, some artists I would love to work with: Shaka Khan, Patti LaBelle, um, Will Downing. They just really want to take the skills that God has allowed me to learn over the years and
Yeah.
take them on a dance, put them in our world. See, right now,
Yes. Yeah.
their world, they have no idea how they would fit in this world. And I think Spin and I and all of Quantize have gotten to the point where we can handle it. We could actually handle a Shaka Khan or anyone of that level. Uh,
Yeah.
and we go at them. We did Sarah Dash. That was an honor to be with Sarah Dash. We've done some historical people. But what personally for me, I'm a governor for the Recording Academy in DC. So I can see how we're not being represented in those awards. So if
Yeah.
more people that were like of the likes, then they would see us. We would have, you know, a portrait of what it really is instead of them looking at, I don't know who you guys are. House people are not very video, very YouTube-y, very enough. We're a culture. So a culture kind of, you either know you belong or you don't. Well,
Yeah.
the award,
Well, Mrs. Spen said you need to do a world tour. UK, Europe. That's it. She said. If she said it, it has to happen. So you have to do as you're told. To say you need to do.
I'm scared of word tours. I've done a couple tours, but to me, that's a long time to be away from home playing for people that I don't know. One of the greatest things about playing mostly on the East Coast
Yeah.
is that I know most of them, we have the same backgrounds. So I know their historical background. So I can kind of play what's familiar to them. You put me in Germany, then I'm the freak. Like, oh, I don't know your history. And I'm
That doesn't matter because your music speaks every kind of language. You and Spen, when you play your music, it speaks in everybody's language. And if you come over to the UK, I would love to warm up for you and Spen. I would give my time just to come and meet you guys. You know, I would do that because for me, it's meeting history. It's being part of something even bigger than you, bigger than me, bigger than all of us. And what your music does it helps people in so many ways, in deep ways. It helps them mentally, physically, spiritually. It takes them out of their depression and puts them into a whole new world. You know, that's what your music does. And if you harnessed all that power and put it out to the world, oh my goodness. You know, Mrs. Spence said a Grammy Award. You guys should have had 100 Grammy Awards by now. But the world hasn't seen you or recognize how good you guys are. They want to give it to those people who are semi or right. But you guys need to be getting some of the big awards in the world that the world will see. So this is what we've got.
I agree so. I agree so. And I would love to do overseas. You've seen my Mondays, and I don't like getting gigs where they say, "Can you not do that?" That's like, hey, can you put on a regular dress, please? Like, no. Half my show is performance.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to wait until someone asks for performance, and that way all of it's one. I can come out as Prince and not Nelson.
Yeah. But you know, the thing is, being you, you're the best person to be you. You can't be anybody else but you. And if people can't accept you for being you, I say forget them. You know, be yourself, because God created you to be this unique, fantastic human being, which is changing the world and making it feel good. And if people don't like it, too bad, because you're going to be you and be the best you can ever be.
Wow. I'm gonna hire you. I'm gonna hire you.
I'm anytime you want.
When I wake up in the morning, I just play that. Be you. That might kind of get me going in the morning. Is that what?
Yeah. But the thing is, you have to be. It's sometimes we forget because we're doing all sorts of things, and we think, well, what about me? I've got to be me. I've got to be the best me I can ever be. And once you've harnessed that, once you've locked that down, whatever else happens in the world, it doesn't matter, because you're being the best you.
I agree. And I'm waiting for them to say, the artists. I mean, my live show is really, really popular from people around the world. So now I know I could be me. I don't have to be standing in I don't know, like 10 DJs. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it come from the ceiling on a bungee cord and come down.
Yeah. Even whatever you want, because people are going to remember and said, that's Thommy.
Right.
He's done that amazing. He's done a backflip and he's spinning on his head and he's DJing at the same time.
And they took him away in an ambulance.
Yeah. Well, don't do what Spen did. Don't do what Spen did.
Oh.
When he broke his foot. I still find that funny. I know I shouldn't laugh. I should have. I shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't. And I've tried my best not to laugh at DJ Spen. I pray for forgiveness, God, but I just gotta laugh.
That was hard on everyone, the whole company. Spen is a tour magnet. I mean, he loves the running through the airport, and to run one plane to another plane, to get to a crop dust, to get to a car, to drive 6 hours to get to the place.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. Some people travel well.
Mm-hmm. He's
permanent press. Man, I'm cotton, man. I'm going to be all wrinkled up by the time I got there.
You're far from wrinkled.
It's a lifestyle. A lot of friends do that, and it's a lot of work. It's not easy. You just don't show up and it's a party and that's it. There's a whole lot. There's a whole lot of meetings and eating dinner with people and, very little rest.
Yeah. But I reckon 2021 is going to be the year for you to be touring. Even if you just come to England. Just come to England, and play some sets in England.
Make it happen.
We'll be happy with that.
Make it happen now, because my fear was them putting me somewhere I don't belong, like in an EDM club. Like I don't belong in an EDM club. I am very much small. The club you have to go to the dark alley with the red light, knock on the door 3 times. You open the door, smoke coming out like.
Nate Wiggins says the world needs to hear Thommy Davis.
Oh.
We need to hear. We need to see you on TV. We want to see you in the movies.
Wow.
I need to see you in a major blockbuster movie. Being you in a blockbuster movie. So the whole world will know that's Thommy Davis. That's Spen. Just imagine you two in a blockbuster movie run by Denzel Washington, whoever, or some of the biggest producers film producers in the world, and they come and call Spen and Thommy to come and DJ. I mean, that can happen.
It can happen. It can happen. It can happen. I mean, I'm working on a movie, but it's like a biopic of just what my life from Baltimore to here. Because people notice that I did so many things and I never stopped. I just keep going. So at school at Morgan University, I said, hey, could we film you and do something about your life and where you came from and where you are? And I said, sure, but I'm not dead. They said, no, it's not. I'm thinking it's after somebody died. You see.
No. We want to know the history now, and get everything which is true, not made up. It's going to come directly from you. I would watch that movie. I'd pay good money to go and watch that.
Right.
For real, I would.
I have written it before. I'm a writer. I have written it as a musical, and I haven't found anyone to produce it.
We need to see it on Broadway. We did see that. Thommy, don't keep us waiting. Don't keep us waiting. The world is desperate for. They need this.
Well, what I found personally, and this to other people that's out there watching, is that normally you don't just get one gift. You get many. So the music is a gift. I'm also writing is a gift. Art, I can draw and paint. I can do a lot of things that side of the brain functions on. So I've written 6 books of trying to write this musical just to myself without the music. But I've seen the movie already. I've seen the whole movie from what we just talked about all the way through.
Yeah. We
We
need to see that. We need to see that. Where the world has to see that.
Oh.
But Thommy, it's been a privilege just to talk to you. It's been fun. I've learned so much, and I consider you as a friend. This is absolutely wonderful, and I hope that I can come and see you. We can meet up, and have a cup of coffee, have a drink, whatever. But I really want to meet you and the whole of your team as well. Spen, the whole family, because you guys incorporate so much. And the thing is, I've been playing all your music for so long and not even realizing it. So, that's Thommy, that's Spen. And I've been playing. It's been so influential in my life. And when I do my sets, half of my sets is music that you guys have produced.
Wow.
So I'm really honored to actually have just a bit of time to spend with you and to learn more about you and just get to know you. And I find it such a great privilege, and it's an honor. It's a real honor, and you've done so much. And the thing is, it's not over. You still got more to give.
A lot.
You're just flowing. You're overflowing. You ain't stopping. You
No,
ain't stopping for nobody.
Red Spin and I they was doing Code Red, and it looked like it was time for us to move. I said, well, you know what? We really need to make it Motown. And so to me, and I think to him also, in the back of his head, Quantize was supposed to be in that form, meaning that the music scene was broken up into sections and cliques. And we wanted to be one that didn't click, that was kind of Motown, where we have everybody from everywhere. And as you see, Quantize now with our rigorous schedule of 4 to 6 records a month, 2 albums a month also, means that we have to bring in more people. So now we're a huge family. We're in Motown. We got the Four Tops, we got the Temptations, we got Gladys Knight, we got Smokey Robinson. It's like that. And so
Yeah.
to achieve that, to do it, I would love to see the Motown movie. Like that
Yeah.
journey.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just as we're going to end, I need to just play people a sample of this track, which you've done from your new album. Oh, you still got the moves. You still got the moves, brother.
Oh man, to me a DJ, you can't DJ if you don't know what it feels like to go out there and dance.
Exactly. And I've seen how Spen moves as well. Spen's got this little move. I don't know how he does it, but what do you say? That's a Spen move. So have you got a Spen move?
No, I tease him about it. I ain't not gonna. All DJs have this little move when they're playing and they're focusing, but their body does something in that moment.
Yeah, it does. I can't help myself. If a song hits me and I've got the neck moving, I think that's a good song. It's a good track.
Too much is going on, and I've got I got a headphone on me, and I want to run, and I know if I do, I'm yanking everything with me. So I just grab my head, and my fans know this, like, oh, he just can't. I'm just trying to stop running back there.
But Thommy, let's keep in touch. Thank you so much for giving me your time, and please be you 1,000%, and keep being you 1,000%, and don't care what anybody says. Be you.
I don't care.
But take care then.
Hey,
see you soon.
Promoters, hit me up. I'm a show.
Excellent. And everybody, if you're not following Thommy right now, click onto his link and follow him. Make his social media bigger than ever before. And that's what I like to end with. Take care, my brother.
Take care, man. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
All right.
No problem. Bye.
Love you, Nate.